Well, let's just reflect on that then. I think whether it's Tyrone Mings at the back or Ollie Watkins at the front, Aston Villa are a young, exciting team, brilliant to watch, and they are genuinely looking at a European challenge, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I thought they were magnificent today. I have to say today, I think they did the defensive part of the game so well. I think they got the goal early, and they still had chances. Let's be honest, probably the better chances out of the two teams. But I just think they defended magnificently today. You can see why they've kept so many clean sheets.
What's going on with Arsenal?
Powder puff today. They started off on the worst possible footing. Mistake, lack of concentration, and they definitely didn't recover for the first half. Second half, they were much improved, but still without that kind of cutting edge. They didn't have that cutting edge. You've got some real... We highlighted the attacking players that they've got, and they've been doing very well for them in recent weeks, but today, they just didn't turn up.
Let's hear from the man who won it for Villa today. Here's Ollie Watkins with Des.
Ollie, that's a great result. You had to hold on a bit at the end, but that's a brilliant response to the defeat in midweek as well.
Yeah, it's a big result here. We haven't played, we've played some good stuff, but we haven't got the results we've wanted at home. So, yeah, delighted with that today. It's hard. We grinded it out, and that's what it's all about, really.
You went off to a flying start. You pounced on a mix-up there, punished them as well.
Yeah, bit of confusion at the back for them, and I've hit it. I think it's come off my left foot, hit the defender, and then gone in. But I'll take that.
That's fine. That's 4 out of 5 Premier League games, four goals in 5 Premier League games,
yeah.
Which is fantastic. But as I said, the boss wasn't happy with the pace of the performance in midweek. You seem to have lifted it. A lot of pressing, a lot of challenges in midfield.
Yeah, I think we were a bit off it against West Ham, and they punished us for that. So yeah, we needed a big reaction today, and I think we showed that out there.
Interesting game because a lot of individual duels on the pitch. So you've got a game in hand and a few of the clubs above you, so this puts you right back in that mix for Europe, isn't it?
Yeah, I think just focus on the next game, as cliche as it sounds, but Europe's a long way away, so just keep plugging away and hopefully see where we are at the end of the season.
Well done, Ollie.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that the Villa side you wanted to see? A lot of intensity, a lot of pressing, a lot of hard work? Because in midweek you said you were off the pace. You seem to set the pace today.
Yeah, no, I said to them at the start that we'd gone away on Wednesday from being a good team, and the values that we'd had in being a good team was about the work ethic, the team shift, being a good teammate, and I thought we saw that in bundles today against a really good offensive team.
And you pressed and forced the mistake, so you pounced on that. It was a sort of lightning strike very early and a huge lift for everybody.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I thought we started the game with a really good intensity, and I thought that set us up really well. We, got onto throw-ins quickly, took them quickly, tried to block them in when we could, and it had to be a good defensive performance at times because they've got very good players and very good offensive players, but their goalkeepers made some really good saves as well.
Now, I was talking to Ollie Watkins. There's a lot of duels all over the pitch. Barkley against Partey, Grealish against Bellerin. You had to win those.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was two teams that at the start of the game were set up, man for man pretty much, and you have to go and win them battles first and foremost to allow yourself to play. And really pleased with the players today, the way they competed all over the pitch, but went and helped the teammates when they needed to as well.
There's a couple of individuals at either end. Ollie Watkins, he has the knack of being in the right place at the right time, doesn't he?
He has. I mean, he's in double figures for goals now in the Premier League, which is, fantastic for only 21 games. But the distance he covers in a game is tremendous at high speed. I don't think any centre halves this season have had a second to rest on the ball when he's about, and he's got a good knack of knowing where the net is and being in the right place.
And Emi Martinez has a couple of moments he'll have enjoyed that, wouldn't he? One great save from a free kick, another great save with his feet. So I mean, it's going to mean something to him, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was disappointed on Wednesday. He felt he'd made a mistake for the goal, and certainly didn't make any mistakes today. That's 11 clean sheets. I think it's the most we've had for a long time, and just shows that he'll be happy with the people in front of him who protect him really well. But when he's called upon, he makes good saves.
You're good at holding on to leads, aren't you? You've won 11 of 12 Premier League games where you've scored first.
Yeah, we have. We've been very good, and the one that we didn't, we should have won that as well. So no, we've been very good at holding on to leads. There's a doggedness about the players, and a great team spirit, and you could hear them at the end. The last 5 minutes football pitch when people are trying to protect a 1-goal lead.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That man, well done his team. Here's one for you. Only Manchester City this season have got more clean sheets than Aston Villa. And it almost feels like building really solid defensive foundations have allowed the attacking players to express themselves, which we saw again today.
Yeah, you could see it. I mean, they looked so confident. Once they went a goal up, they looked so confident defensively, didn't they, to limit Arsenal's chances. And they didn't have too many. It was such a fast start. Obviously, Traore getting onto the ball there. That was synonymous with the whole team, really. They were just on the front foot right away, more so than Arsenal. Got the break, and then they just held on to that.
And I think, we can talk about the defensive areas and how they've defended, which is right. But it's also about defending from the front. Watkins, I think, is the catalyst. He instigates the defensive line from the forward areas. And Grealish, we saw him tracking Saka, giving away fouls to slow the game down. And I think that is just a trend in this team, and they've found a way of playing that really suits them. It's the foundations that are obviously defending, which is always solid for them at the moment, but also then when they win it, it's about them breaking on teams. I think Watkins today was tremendous. He held the ball up, he brought others into play, and he was getting his shots off.
The manager's dream, isn't he? I think. So, it's worked so hard. As the manager would say, there's high intensity, he's running, works hard for the team, he can finish.
Is he an England manager's dream?
Well, what I'll say now, he's in the conversation. He's putting himself in the conversation with the amount of goals he's getting and the way he's performing.
It's a good conversation, isn't it? Because suddenly there's 6 Englishmen in the Premier League who've scored 10 goals or more. It's good for Gareth.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. And listen, someone like Ollie Watkins, who obviously was at Exeter, Brentford, and now came to the Premier League, he would have been saying, what did you have at the beginning of the season? Get me double figures, I'll be delighted. He's hit that already at this stage of the season. Now it's about setting new targets. And people talking about him to be in an England squad alongside the likes of Danny Ings, Bamford, etc.
Decisions, you can either watch that over on BT Sport 2 or literally in about 15 minutes' time. We're going to be kicking off here with Newcastle against Southampton. There's a few things we need to take a look at, though, regarding Arsenal. For a start, whether the punishment was apt for the foul on Saka, and then secondly, whether they should have had a penalty. Let's do the Saka incident first of all. We've seen them given, not quite a few years ago when he was a player, but he got a red in a very similar part of the pitch.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it was a bit more. There'd have been players coming around here. But listen, I think Saka, he probably wins this race if he gets clear. I think it's a...
Is it a goal-scoring opportunity?
It's not clear.
The point I made at half-time, wasn't it? It was, if that's me running through, it's not a goal-scoring opportunity. but with Saka, with the pace he's got, I think he goes through on goal there.
You're too modest. Well, let's have a look at one more time just to see where the covering defender is. And look, Rio, you're the perfect man for this. Look at who Saka's in a race with. Who wins the race?
I think he wins the race from there. I think Cash is coming across. But listen, it's all if buts and maybes. And I think, listen, at the end of the day, I wouldn't say it's 100% clear opportunity in terms of going towards goal alone, unopposed at that point. It's still in a race.
Peter, is that the correct decision from the officials? Mikel didn't think so.
No, he wouldn't. But the law is quite specific. It has to be an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And what already Rio and Peter have alluded to there, yes, there was a covering defender. And yes, there's a distance to goal for Saka to make up. So it doesn't become obvious. And the offence for send-off is obvious and not the actual foul itself. So in this instance, correct decision. OK, well, let's have a look at another incident then that happened in the box. Can you explain why VAR didn't look at this, and if VAR would have looked at it, do you think they would have awarded a penalty? Well, first of all, I think VAR did look at it because they have a sort of silent check on every incident here. And yes, you could argue that the goalkeeper was fouled. You could argue that the goalkeeper was fouled in Lacazette. And the point is that VAR is not there to get the correct decision. It is there to identify clear and obvious errors from the referee, or in fact where the referee has missed something.
Well, Pete, just look at that clip there where it's paused there.
Yep.
There's only one person grabbing a shirt there.
I don't disagree with you, Rio, but what I would say, from a point of view, has Lacazette used that as the opportunity to then lean on the goalkeeper? And we all agree that within football there's a certain amount of physical contact allowed. We get that, and we don't want VAR looking at items of that nature where it's such a subjective viewpoint.
What Lacazette's doing though happens in every single football match, possibly.
VAR looking at items of that nature where it's such a subjective viewpoint.
What Lacazette's doing, though, happens in every single football match, possibly every single corner. You know, the goalkeeper can't drag him down, though.
No, I don't disagree with that, Peter. What I am saying is, though, because there's such a subjective nature to that particular offence, VAR would have looked at it, but it didn't reach the threshold where he felt it was a clear and obvious mistake from the referee not awarding the penalty kick.
Well, if I'm Mikel Arteta, I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly, if you could watch his mouth on the clip as he was coming off the pitch speaking to the referee, he's saying penalty. And I think that's the incident, 100%.
And the problem for people at home, Peter, is you say that VAR's not there to get every moment right. It's not there to re-referee games. It's subjective. We are seeing similar incidents looked at, reconsidered, sending refs to the monitor. The fact they send refs to the monitor means that VAR doesn't always know exactly what decision to make. Why not, again, give the ref the opportunity to see the information that they have?
Well, again, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I will say, and you mentioned the point there, VAR is not there to re-referee the game. And they'll only send that referee over to the monitor when they feel there's a clear and obvious error been made or a misincidence, as we've seen in the past. And don't forget, it's still an evolving process. I will go back to that. It's still an evolving process. And the guys who operate this are beginning to get more and more experience with it. So ultimately, hopefully we'll see consistency. At the moment, yeah, there's still some areas of greyness in around.
All right. Thanks a lot, Peter. And look, I think that's the key thing. Consistency is all we're after. We know this is human beings doing their best, but consistency is key here.
Yep, we're not getting it, are we? I mean, Peter just said there we're changing a clear and obvious error. We're not trying to get the correct decision. Surely there's the problem.